I've chosen to do baby seals as my next part of the artwork. This image stood out to me because it shows a baby seal alone on the ice. The baby seals are separated from their mothers for long periods of time as their mothers hunt. They are left vulnerable to the melting sea ice, storms and hungry polar bears because they cannot get into the water before their first 4 days after they are born.
This seal here is a harp seal found up in the Arctic. It's probably the cutest. If there was a competition, it would win for cutest animal on the planet. They really are beautiful with that white coat, and they have that white coat for about a week or so, about a week after they're born. Now, this particular picture was taken in the Gulf of St. Lawrence, and it was taken about 1978 or so again for a programme I was making about Newfoundland called People of the Sea. And one of the Newfoundland borders on the Gulf of St. Lawrence, so one trip we made was out onto the ice to try to film these young harp seals. The thing is, there's a hell of a lot of harp seals get hunted every year in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. Something like 200,000 pups get hunted every year in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. There is a very large population of harp seals down there, and it seems as though that, hunting that amount is apparently sustainable. They usually get hunted at that time of year when they have this lovely golden coat. There's many more youngsters get hunted than adults. And sometimes these seals will get hunted by polar bears, but I must admit the Gulf of St. Lawrence is a little bit far south for polar bears. But sometimes the harp seals in the summer, they swim north. They swim from the Gulf of St. Lawrence, they swim way up into the high Arctic, and that's where they might get attacked by polar bears. The other place that harp seals breed is what they call the front, which is that area between Canada and Greenland. You obviously have further north into the Davis Strait, as they call it. Further north, the ice is very solid. But as you come further south, then the ice begins to get more broken up. And that's what they call the front. It's the front of the sea ice, where the frozen sea meets the open sea. So the area called the front is an important breeding area for harp seals too. And with climate change, that front is moving further north, and it's also breaking up earlier than it used to. So climate change, its effect on the front, and indeed also in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. The ice floes in the Gulf of St. Lawrence now are smaller than they used to be 20 years ago. And the harp seals are looking for big ice floes to breed on. And there are less of those big ice floes around. And in fact, we went to try to film harp seals for Blue Planet in 2001, and we had to give up. We could not find an ice floe big enough to have any harp seals on it. And I think that was a year where the harp seal population or harp seal breeding success was very, very much lower than usual, just because the ice had broken up earlier than it had done almost in any previous year.